Old faces in new places. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got 2 quarterbacks making their debut with their new franchises, as we'll see Sam Bradford and the Arizona Cardinals playing host to Alex Smith and the Washington Redskins. I'll be back for a look around the NFL at halftime. But first, let's get you out to the desert. Standing by another couple of dry fellas. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with the Washington Redskins. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, an early season tilt, and when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their new quarterback for 2018, making his first start as a Cardinal. Here's Sam Bradford.
And getting another fresh start, this time in Arizona. But it'd be interesting to see how people in the building, how people in the organization view this season for Sam Bradford. Is he a bridge to Josh Rosen, who they drafted in the first round? Or will he become their legitimate starting quarterback as they try and challenge for a playoff spot? When he's on his game, there's nobody more accurate in the league throwing the football.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And here are the offensive starters for Arizona.
And running back David Johnson was awfully popular in fantasy drafts in 2017, coming off of a year where he had 20 touchdowns, but had just 11 carries last season before a wrist injury shelved him for the season. Look for him to bounce back in a huge way in 2018.
On second down, Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll go as a loss of 5, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Play action now, Bradford. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. Well, it was third down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. Extra point good by Hopkins. And it's now a 7-0 game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is T.J. Logan to return it. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Well, the Cardinals coming out here and take a look back, Charles, at 2017. Really, everything started going south, unfortunately, week one. That's when they lost David Johnson to a wrist injury. From there, they really couldn't turn it around.
And in the offseason, coaching change. Steve Wilkes now in charge. Comes with a defensive bent. Remember, he's a defensive coordinator with the Carolina Panthers. And he probably was blitzing from the time he took the job. That's how aggressive he is. On the offensive side of the ball, you know, there's going to be a battle for the quarterback spot. You knew they signed Sam Bradford. Josh Rosen was drafted. But the identity of this team, David Johnson, their running back. Missing him most of last season really changed the whole dynamic of their year.
Johnson on the counter. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Pernell McPhee in there on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be fourth down. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. It'll be the 14-year veteran leading him onto the field, Alex Smith, making his first start here as a Washington Redskin.
And despite another terrific season from Alex Smith in Kansas City, he knew, Kansas City knew from the moment Patrick Mahomes was drafted, this day was going to come sooner rather than later. Now he goes to Washington and replaces Kirk Cousins. Two different quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins a little more of the freewheeling sort. Alex Smith more deliberate, more controlled, but can still throw that dagger pass downfield.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And here a look at the offensive starters for the Redskins.
Jordan Reed's coming off of an injury-plagued season that set him back and held him to just 6 games. And Washington's definitely hoping he can get back to his 2016 Pro Bowl form. That made him one of the most dangerous tight ends in the game. And in fact, when he runs routes, it's often equated to a basketball player with a great crossover move. A lot of guys just can't stick with him.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Let's meet the starters on the defensive side of the football for Arizona.
And let's talk about Robert Kimdichie, their first-round pick out of Mississippi. I still remember him coming out of high school. An absolute terror, maybe the best high school prospect in the nation. People look to see if his motor is going to run high all the time because when it does, he is something else.
Throwing on third down, Smith. Throw left side complete. It's Richardson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Redskin first down. Richardson on the reception from Smith. On the ground, it's Thompson. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Smith. Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they will score. It's a pick six for the Cardinals touchdown. So a pick six there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick six going the other way.
Here's Phil Dawson now for the point after. Dawson able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins making their way out. Last year, a fairly quiet 7-9. Now, the big change, of course, for 2018 here, exit Kirk Cousins, enter Alex Smith at quarterback. What does that change?
The change is that you have a quarterback who takes care of the football in a big way, but still can deliver it downfield. Alex Smith has such a reputation for being careful that it's overblown. He will take the shot downfield. If receivers shake free, get open, he'll deliver it. The other part of that, they get an offensive line. If they can get health there and have consistency up front, that offense can move, and that's what they're going to need to do if they want to compete in the NFC East.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. To throw on 2nd down is Smith. His throw incomplete. Oh, Patrick Peterson, the shutdown corner, was there on the coverage.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Smith now to throw. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Chandler Jones with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Jones had 4 years in New England, now in his 3rd with the Cardinals.
And he's really gotten acclimated in the desert, hasn't he? 11 sacks in his first season with the team in 2016. 17 last year, which led the NFL. And how about his last 5 years? 58 sacks, the most in the NFL.
So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now a handoff. Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And here come the Redskins now. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Now Thompson. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 2nd down.
Thompson. Shifts by him. Again the juke. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a third down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in third and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in third and manageable. They've got a chance at a first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They run it here with Thompson. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And they'll run it here. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Tackle made by Antoine Bethea.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now it's Smith. And that is incomplete. The veteran safety, Antoine Bethea, there on the defensive coverage.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Cardinal offense here ready to take over. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Tackle made there by Zach Brown. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. The first down carry here for Johnson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 7-all is the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Here's Bradford underneath for Johnson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Bradford on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Johnson. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup of someone trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
They go back to the ground with Johnson. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
As David Johnson works his way back from the wrist injury, what are the hesitations, the cautions for him?
Well, number one, you want to make sure he's got full strength in the wrist because he's going to carry the football an awful lot, so ball security is important. And you definitely want to make sure there's flexibility there because he's been such a great pass catcher in the past. You want to make sure he gets back to being able to do that as well.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
On to try the field goal now, Phil Dawson. From the right hash, this from 48. And Dawson's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on,
one?
what does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going why they said that. I have no idea.
Then he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Alex Smith and the offense heading out for their next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. And for Darius Geis, this is his first NFL carry. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Geis with a carry on second down. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What, is it 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast. And
he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A gain of 6 there on first. On second down, here's Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Back to the ground game now with Geis. And able to work his way down to the 16. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here's Smith now on second down. This will be caught just inside the 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Out of the gun, Smith. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards is the gain that time, second and goal.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Second and goal from inside the 5. They'll give it to him up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that is going to set up third and goal.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? From the gun, here's Smith. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamar Taylor. He's at the 50. The 30, the 20, and they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. Third down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
Now Dawson for the extra point. Dawson tacks on the point after, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Alex Smith and company heading back out there now. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards. He's making quite a splash here in his NFL debut.
Well, he was advertised as being NFL ready, and both you and I tend to arch an eyebrow a little bit when we first hear that. But I think that they were right about this one.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Back to the ground on first. It's Geis. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for it in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
The backup, Rob Kelly, his first carry. And a short gain down to about the 33. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Jordan Reed has it. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On 1st down, this is Geis. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in Week 1. So do not press that skip button. Here's Smith to throw on 2nd down. Setting up the screen to Kelly. And this carry, despite the good move, will be stopped short of the 10. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Redskins on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Smith. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Bradford now to throw on first down. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position, because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now a second down throw for Bradford. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Nelson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Bradford finding Nelson for an Arizona first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him, and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
On 1st and 10, Bradford dumping it off for Johnson. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Bradford again. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Ryan Kerrigan in there to get him for a loss of 5. Kerrigan, the former Purdue Boilermaker, making some noise there.
And do you realize in the last 5 years that only Chandler Jones of Arizona has more sacks in the NFL than Ryan Kerrigan?
Yeah, you don't think of Kerrigan in that light a lot of times.
No, but you should, because he is tough to block. And not only does he get sacks, he creates a lot of forced fumbles as well.
In search of something here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Bradford getting his guys ready. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family. It's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's been a busy day of football here on EA Sports. 3 other games going on in the late afternoon, so let's get to it. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. They start the second half with a run by Geis. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now Smith. And he's got his target. It's Vernon Davis. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still second down.
So the delay of game penalty backs him up. It's now 2nd and 7. Following the penalty, it's Geis. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Yeah, that was the safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. The Redskins on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8. Now Smith from the gun. He'll throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Reed. But he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Caught right side, Davis. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll hand it down to Geis. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Now, that was kind of interesting. It appears this coaching staff really trusts this rookie early in his career. They want to get him a touchdown here in his NFL debut.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw, Smith. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. Now they're staring at a 4th down as Arizona's defense does its job.
These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time. 3 here, not the worst thing in the world. And they're going to fake it. He wants to throw it here. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. Well, I see what they were trying to do there. You pop up your holder, roll him out. You got the option to run or pass. This didn't work.
Not at all. The communication was excellent defensively to make sure that receivers were covered as they escaped from the line of scrimmage, because that's supposed to be a surprise to everyone, and that's how they get free. People forget their assignments on defense. That didn't happen. And think about the guy rolling out with the football, looking for an open person, no one there.
Helpless feeling.
Helpless, because that gap between you and defenders now is going to close and close quickly.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. Shoves him away. And now running right through it. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Still 2nd down.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The wrist seems fine. The legs were never a problem as DJ's in the backfield again on 1st and 10. 1st down, Bradford. And Nelson's got it here right side. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. They just do get the play off. Now Bradford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ryan Kerrigan in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
On 3rd down, Bradford. And incomplete here on 3rd down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Off of play action, here's Smith. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Robert Kindici able to swap him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Third and long, it's Smith. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 45. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his second interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
So out now come the Cardinals. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Now Bradford on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ryan Kerrigan getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
In search of something here after the sack, it's 3rd and long. Bradford getting his guys ready. From the shotgun, it's Bradford. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 34 yards there and a first down.
That looked like a two-deep coverage, which we call cover two. And what that really means is you have corners, what we call rolled up in about a 5-yard area on the outside receivers. Then your safeties are back closer to the hash marks near the middle of the field, somewhere around 10 to 12 yards back. So if you can break through the first level, you've got a chance to run before you encounter any type of resistance from the safeties.
We saw the example of it right there. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. And this will be a dump off for Kelly. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. And right now, a stoppage because Rob Kelly is still down. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try and get it with Geis. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Right back to him on 1st down. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
I'm still an old-school football guy, and anytime you see a big-time running play, that fires me up. And if I'm on offense right now, in the position they're in now, inside the 10-yard line, I think after the way they've run it, they've set themselves up for a good play-action pass opportunity right here.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Smith now, operating from the gun. That is caught at the 7-yard line. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open. I
love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Now it's Smith. This will be caught at about the 6. It's Alex Smith's first touchdown pass as a Washington Redskin, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. Hopkins with the extra point, and that will get him 1 closer. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Bradford going to lead the Cardinals up now 1st and 10 at their 38. And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
From the gun, Bradford. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Ryan Kerrigan. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. That'll net 7 yards on the ground, but it'll leave him with a healthy distance still to go on 3rd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Now Bradford. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. Now it's Crowder. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. So out now come the Redskins. Things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
On 1st and 10, Smith off to Geis on the screen. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Out of the gun, Smith. Completes it right side to Dodson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Smith. And incomplete on the deep ball.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Smith now to throw. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Marcus Golden in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The Redskins on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 16. A shotgun snap for Smith. He finds his target. It's Crowder. 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Washington. Jamison Crowder, 69 yards. And the Redskins have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now let's look at David Johnson. And these numbers showing up on the screen, that's why he's their star. They kept him down for a little bit, couldn't keep him down for a full 4 quarters.
But what they were hoping for was a half of a game. And if they could have shut it down at the half, they had done their job. But as you mentioned, a full 4 quarters, and the best, they always feel like they're one run away from changing the momentum or breaking something big. And we're starting to see that here in the second half.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now a 2nd down throw for Bradford. Fitzgerald's got it right side. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
On the NFL scoreboard there in the 4th now in Carson. The Chiefs now have a late lead over the Chargers. A win would be their first of the young season. Bradford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Bradford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the power run out of the bag and got a couple extra yards with it. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Working out of the gun, Bradford. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. In search of something here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Bradford getting his guys ready. From the gun, Bradford. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for him. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Dawson's kick is good. And that'll bring him back within a point. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Then he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've been rolling the last couple of drives, each inning in touchdowns. So this game is flipped. They were down. Now they're up with the football. We'll see how they handle it.
Can we get a spy on the headset now between the head coach and offensive coordinator? Because they've been in attack mode. Had to get back into the game. Now they have the lead. Do you stay on the attack? Or do you dial it back a little bit to try and protect this lead?
Well, my cop-out answer would be somewhere in the middle. I think it's going to be a fine line, is it not?
I think you're exactly right, but I do think if they can stay aggressive and keep them on their heels, they'll be best served that way. Where Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage, they've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Beamer Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Smith going to throw on 3rd and 1. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Smith, and Reed with it over the middle. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now they'll run on the draw. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 3rd down. That's Thompson. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
From the red zone now, Smith. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Operating from the gun, Smith. This will be caught at about the 5. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. He'll get it up the middle. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Whistles now in a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Again, a run with Thompson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Chris Thompson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
Important extra point up and through, and that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time. He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Ryan Kerrigan in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Back to throw. It's caught. Nelson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, they needed the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, but they're not going to get a shot at either. This is a great play here defensively, Brandon, and at a time that they sorely needed one. And that could be enough to help get them out of here with a victory.
The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got to stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. The Redskins, they can smell victory now. They take a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, Week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Washington, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Arizona, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.